We are back with episode 13. Last time was Shalop, Spider Tribal, doing Spider Tribal shenanigans with food tokens. Honestly, I realize it's a lot like Merkle. You can kind of do some shenanigans with Merkle that you do with Shalab, and vice versa. Let's just get into that episode 13 spin. I don't have EDH Rec up. Let's see what we get before we do EDH Rec. Grayson? I don't remember him. Well, we're gonna find out after we go back to classic EDH Rec. Love EDH Rec. Another universe is beyond. Another universe is beyond. He's the one who wants to ping your opponents for 1 damage to ping them for 3. Okay, I don't really think... Less than his power... Yeah, I don't think really Ogier is one that you want, and I think the synergy is actually really bad there. Okay. Yeah, a lot of 1 damage shenanigans with him. I've seen some pretty good stuff, like on YouTube and other places with Ghyrson Starn. A deck that I've actually wanted to build, but I'm too lazy and am not fucking rich. So yeah, we'll get back with episode 13 after we build him and make a Google document with him, a Google Sheets or whatever it's called. And we are back with good old episode 13, Ghyrson Starn Kelermorph, being able to, whenever something deals 1 damage, dealing an extra 2 to it. Very good for those, like, 1 pingers and some weird things that I've never seen in a deck personally. What's 1+2? All these creatures usually deal 1, but due to Kelermorph, it'll start dealing 2. You know, dealing 1 damage whenever a creature ETBs. Whatever a creature ETBs, whenever a creature dies, just being able to ping and deal 1 damage to each opponent. That's 3 damage to each opponent at the end. Thornwind dealing 1 damage to target creature or player. Spear Spewer will deal it to each player, so that includes yourself. And Kelermorph will hit you with the extra damage, so that needs to be very well known. Prodigal Sorcerer dealing 1 damage to target creature or player, and then Gelatoroid doing the same thing, but some of these untap. You know, instant sorcery untap for Unruly and Gelatoroid. So you can do it multiple times, you know, if you're with your instants and sorceries. But yeah, so that's the good old classic dealing 1 damage equals 3. I did pause just because I had to look at my volume because I'm being deafened by the background music personally. Uh, there we go. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I don't know. Some benefits for those pings. You know, Kelermorph is going to be Grayson is going to be the one dealing the damage, so giving him lifelink, death touch, you know, really helps. You know, you're going to be getting 2 life for each ping with the resurrection and shadow spear and basilisk collar. But with Resurrection Spear, you know, if he dies, you're bringing him back to the battlefield. With Basilisk Collar, you're going to be you're essentially killing him with Death Touch. And with Shadow Spear, you can pay the 1, and then so your opponent's creatures lose Hexproof and Indestructible until end of turn. Pretty good. Shadow Spear is a card that I haven't really looked at too much. I know it's a fabulous card. Really good if your opponent plays Coma, because you can just keep taking away the Indestructible. You know, they can keep sacrificing coils. But in theory, if you have enough mana up, you can get rid of his coils and kill his Coma. A little goof. This is this is the card I was talking about, where it's not something I've ever seen played, but Caltrops. Whenever a creature attacks, it deals 1 damage to it. With Kelermorph, with Grayson, it'll be 3 damage, and then if you give him Death Touch or Lifelink, on attack, they're dead. It's not like they still get to attack, I don't believe, because because they die before the next round. Fun as hell. I definitely suggest Caltrops in this deck. Uh, Creatures that are bigger than 3, you won't really have to worry about with the Death Touch, and then obviously we have Basilisk Collar, but these are just 2 extra little add-ons just in case you really want to make sure your Grayson has Death Touch, which I 100% suggest. Making sure he has Death Touch is amazing to make sure that your creature's opponents don't live to next turn. We do need to figure out a end game with Ghyrson Starn. How do we win? Making sure they just can't attack. Having our death touching and having our dealing 1 damage to it, make sure they can't attack, which, we can tap our things and start just dealing damage to them so that they can't get to us. And if they can't attack, then some decks just can't win. Uh, Attacking is a very big thing for a lot of decks, and some decks win cons. We also have Infect. If we slap either Grafted Exoskeleton or Corrupted Conscience, it will give Grace an Infect and make sure that they just can't win with it, or they just can't do anything, especially with how much damage we're going to be dealing each turn with Grayson with all our 1 damage pingers. Combo him, John. This is, a good little combo that you see in a lot of decks with pingers with red. Being able to, whenever a creature dies, you untap Goblin Sharpshooter, and then giving him Death Touch to just wipe the board. And it deals 1 damage, so Grayson will come in there and also deal extra damage to it. So in theory, you could put it on Goblin, or you can put it on Grayson. It really doesn't matter. But yeah, no. Starn, I know, is actually he's very high ranked, and I'm not surprised. Grayson is very good, very fun. Is a commander that doesn't exactly rely on spell slinging. I do have a good amount of instants and sorceries in here, just ones that deal 1 damage. You have Grape Shot, and just like the random commons that deal 1 damage, which will now be dealing 3 damage or more, because I believe I do have Thrumming in this. Just so you can have him deal extra damage. It's a pretty good overall commander. In the tier list, he will probably be on the higher end. He is a deck that I wanted to make, but I've just been too busy to actually make him for my personal decks. But no, Grayson I think is very good, very fun. You have some wacky. Oh, you know what? We completely missed some extra states on board. I can't believe I mixed this. But we got Mirage Mirror and Spark Double to. For Mirage Mirror, you can copy Caltrops, and then Spark Double, you can copy Grayson. I can't believe I missed an. It just. Huh. Yeah. I can't believe I missed this one. That one's completely on me, which explains why this time was really ticking. Mirage Mirror, very fun card, and you can do creature, so if someone kills your Grayson, you can quickly. On stack, just make Mirage Mirror into a copy of them, or make it into a copy of Caltrops. So you're having 2 instances of Caltrops dealing 1 damage, which would deal 6 damage in total with Grayson, and then you add a Spark Double on top of that, so it'd be dealing 3 there plus 2. That's 10. And then plus another 2. It's a lot of damage. I'm not going to do the math right now because I'm lazy and stupid. But it's a lot of damage that can be dealt. Either way, fun commander. Fun stuff that you can do with him. He also has Ward too, so that slaps. But either way, please like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. Do you have any suggestions for Grayson? But I will see you next episode for episode 14. Have a wonderful day.